SRT Unk 415 says, my top priority is finding out if Purdy can stay healthy for 17 games. If not, next offseason, they need to bring in legit competition. Well, they do have legit competition. So here's my question. Larry,
Yes.
what are your expectations for Brock Purdy in 2026? 2025 wasn't the season he wanted. He got injured. He missed a lot of time. He came back. He had some great games. He had an unfortunate finish. What is your expectation for 2026?
I think Brock Purdy was one of the most incredible stories of the year. I mean, he supposedly had turf toe, and then he came back, and if he had it, he sure blocked it out well. I thought he played pretty damn well after coming back from the turf toe. So to me, this is not about Brock. I think we've established what Brock is. I think if anything this year, we understand what Brock is. His baseline, when he's good, when he's not. I think we have a pretty good idea of where he sits. Is he a top 5 quarterback? No. Is he a top 20 quarterback? Yes. So it's like he's a good quarterback, but he's not the greatest quarterback. I think this is more about Brock Purdy is a lot like Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts would not have won that Super Bowl by himself. He needed a killer line and a killer D and a really good run game. And Brock Purdy needs the same. And if the Niners can give him a really good line in front of him, build that fortress, get some better skill position guys, and improve their defense, the special teams is now taken care of. I think they're there. I think they know what they have in Brock, but now it's about supporting Brock. And if they don't do it, he's not going to have success. And if they do it, I think he can have ultimate success.
Here are my expectations for Brock Purdy in 2026. At least 4,000 yards through the air, at least 30 touchdown passes, no more than 15 picks, and that's on the high side, and 17 games started. I want to see no fewer than 16, but ideally a full season from Brock. I'm not asking him to win the MVP, but I do want him to be, in the top 7 or 8 in passing, because that's what his contract dictates, that he needs to be prolific as a passer. Unless the Niners can magically restart their running game and make Christian McCaffrey 26 again. I want to see 4,000 yards, because Sam Darnold, who isn't that great, but he's good enough to win a Super Bowl, had 4,000 yards and 25 touchdowns and 14 picks. I'd like Brock to be a little bit better than that and stay healthy.
I wasn't thinking you wanted actual numbers. As far as numbers go, I mean, I'd like to see a 70% completion percentage. I want to see him start at least 16 of the 17 games. I don't want him to miss more than a game. And to me, it's more about minimizing the turnovers. The touchdowns, that could be variable based on a lot of things. Do they run it more? Do they have success running it? But to me, it's about the turnovers and turnover worthy plays. That's the other one. When he's playing really well, he minimizes even his turnover worthy plays. So that's a key stat, and the one that I definitely would like to keep track of going forward.
There was something about Darnold that I really appreciated this year. Like, he didn't get the Super Bowl MVP, and he was not in the MVP conversation, but he played like he took his ego out of it the whole season. He didn't have to show what he could do or prove that he's a playmaker or not just a game manager. If the Seahawks said, Sam, we need you to manage the game, he did that. And he could do it really well. He managed the game in the playoffs and turned the ball over no times. But if they said, Sam, we're going against the Rams this week, we need you to air it out and be a bit of a gunslinger, and we can live with some turnovers, but you got to make some big time throws. He stepped up and did that too. And it was really not about him. And you don't really think of Purdy as having an ego. Maybe he doesn't. I think all players do to a degree, but I think there's a big showman part of Brock Purdy, for better or for worse. And I think each year he holds onto the ball a little bit longer, and he can have some really cool plays where he runs in circles and make guy miss. I mean, we think of that play to Juszczyk against the Bears. That's great. We're not seeing Sam Darnold do stuff like that, but we are seeing Darnold play a very mature, understated brand of football, which wins championships. So I'd like to see that from Brock as well. Like you said, the turnovers are more important than the touchdowns.
You know what, Grant, if you go and look at Brock Purdy's career with the Niners and you charted it year by year, what you'd see is that Brock Purdy, when he first took over, threw the ball shorter to better weapons who piled up bigger run after the catch yardage. And what you've seen a lot since is a drop back guy who now has to drive the ball down the field because his receivers don't get yards after the catch. They need to get back to a rhythm and throwing it shorter, getting it out of his
And that
hand
doesn't mean bring back Debo.
to more dynamic weapons, not drive it down the field. That's not going to be his game. He can do it a little bit, but he's going to be much better off if he can get into a rhythm with dynamic skill position guys that he can throw it short to and they can run. So prioritize run after the catch at tight end. Running backs that can catch the ball out of the backfield, receivers that have run after the catch ability, more speed across the board. They're just freaking slow. And get the ball out of his hands quicker and get him into more of a rhythm. I agree, because it's really changed quite a bit. The Niners used to be a play action team, and now they're kind of a down the field passing team. And they used to be a run after the catch team and throw it short and a lot of rack yardage. And now I think they were like 28th or something. They were really, really, really low in rack yards this year. That's got to come back. He's just not a big enough guy with a big enough arm to have to live driving it down the field. But he doesn't have any weapons that can really be dynamic for him, at least that get on the field. That's got to change.